Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Tim. I don't know if you guys know about me at all. I think people on Rob's vlogging channel know about me, but I'm actually his twin brother. So I figured I would just stop in and say what's up. Hey, what are you doing? You're introducing yourself to all the fans? Yeah. Okay. Because I need to make the video on the Spider-Man. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's fine. I just wanted to say like, what's up? Just say hey. But I mean, if you need to make your video, yeah, then you can go ahead and make it. All right. Peace. Okay, am I in focus? I'm in focus. Okay, cool. What's going on, guys? Yeah, that was Tim. He like appeared on my vlogging channel at one point. People were freaking out because apparently you guys didn't know that I had a twin brother, which I guess it kind of makes sense because I never told anybody. But yeah, no. Okay, so Spider-Man: Far From Home. So I was talking to the guys from Sony, and they're like, "You can do your review on the 27th." So I was like, "Cool." So huge shout out to Derek. He's like the guy that's like been helping me navigate all the waters of like press junkets and everything. So Derek's a really cool guy. But yeah, no, Spider-Man: Far From Home, it's gonna change everything. Like it's going to change everything. And here's the thing, like no spoilers, right? Like I'm not gonna spoil anything for you guys, but you guys need to stay for the post credits, right? I mean, I don't feel like that's a spoiler. I feel like it's common knowledge now. You know, when it comes to like Marvel movies, like you have to stay for the post credit scene. But it's gonna change. It's gonna like it changes everything. Okay, so it's exactly what you would expect for a movie post Avengers Endgame, right? Like after Iron Man, all that kind of cool stuff. It's exactly what you would expect. But the character development is absolutely amazing, right? Like, because it's one of the funny things for the character of Peter Parker, and really for the character of Spider-Man, when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like Iron Man was the face of the MCU, which kind of goes against conventional wisdom, right? Like you think of Marvel, you think of Spider-Man for the most part. Like his face is like he's like the face of the company, right? Like you go and you look at comic books. You look at the old comic books on like the cover where they give you like the issue number and the release date and all that kind of stuff. You see the little Spider-Man face. So like he's the face of Marvel. And then you look at the MCU and it's like, but it's Iron Man though. And I feel like with Iron Man out of the picture and with the way this film went, it'll give Peter Parker a chance to finally become like the face of the MCU, which as much as I love Iron Man is kind of the way that it should have been, right? Like Spider-Man should be the face of the company. Now, of course, we know that's not the case because of how everything went down with like movie rights and all that kind of cool stuff when the MCU first launched back in 2006, 2007. But it's a solid film. But see, here's the thing. People want to know about Mysterio, right? Like people want to know about Mysterio. So again, no spoilers here, but you guys are not ready for Mysterio. Like you got like here's the thing. Like man, let me tell you something. Here's the thing. Like I look at Mysterio in the comics and I'm like, okay, so we only ever had like one good moment, and that was when he tricked Wolverine into killing all the X-Men and Old Man Logan. That's like the one big moment he had throughout his entire publication history in Marvel Comics. But in the movies, it's amazing, dude. Like the trailers don't do him justice. Like I went into it thinking I was basically going to see a lot of what I saw in the trailer, and then I watched the movie and I was like, holy crap. I can't cuss on this. Family friendly. I was like, holy crap. It was absolutely bonkers. Watching him do the kind of stuff he did, it was insane. This is so hard to make a review without spoiling anything. Yeah, you guys are not ready for Mysterio. As for everything else of the supporting cast, with like Jacob Batalon who plays Ned, with regards to Zendaya, of course, who plays Michelle Jones, it's cool. I mean, their characters kind of continue on the way you expected them to. There is some development there, and especially after the events of Endgame, the snap, all that kind of cool stuff. There is some development there with him. Samuel Jackson, like as Nick Fury, is a lot more interesting. He's a lot more dynamic in this movie, right? Because traditionally Nick Fury's always been like the super serious guy who like he's always like everything's a big deal, right? Like if Nick Fury went to like order a cup of coffee from Starbucks, like it would be that cashier's most intimidating experience ever. You know, like you got this guy with an eye patch who's obviously seen some stuff, like this grisly looking guy, and like you get the impression that like if you mess with his order, like he's gonna kill you. Like that's how it feels. Like that's how Nick Fury always felt in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But in this movie, like he's a lot more interesting. He's way more interesting. It's really, really cool. So you definitely get to see some development with him. Dare I say, teetering on the edge of spoilers here, I think he's going to play a much bigger role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe going forward. Like a colossal role. I will also say this, in terms of setting the stage for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think this movie did it better than any movie that came before it. And I would say, I think this movie was probably as good, if not maybe a little bit better than like Infinity War and Endgame. I mean, when you look at like the story that's being told and like how the events unfold, I think it's actually a little bit better. In terms of like grandiose battle scenes and all that kind of cool stuff, Endgame takes the cake on that, right? I mean, there's, you know, and Infinity War, you get like these great big huge battles and those great big huge events. But in terms of like standalone movies based on a singular character or an ensemble of characters, I would say this is probably the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movie to date. And it's nuts. Like I understand, like after seeing this movie, I understand why Amy Pascal, the head at Sony, was like, I want to see Peter Parker in the Marvel Cinematic Universe more often. It's gonna be nuts. I am, man, because my big question after Infinity War and Endgame was like, where do they go from here, right? Because like, it's the grandiose thing. It's the fight with Thanos and the Infinity Stones, and now the whole Infinity Saga is over. Like, where do you go from here? Like, leaving out the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, which is a whole nother set of events. Like, where do you go with like Spider-Man? And where do you go with like Nick Fury? And where do you go with like the cast of characters that you see in the movie? Like, what happens next? There's just a zillion things that happen next. There's a zillion things that can happen next. I will say that in the movies you've seen so far with Infinity War and Endgame, just because things seemed like they were done does not mean they were. And yeah, I will leave it at that. In any event, you are not going to be disappointed. Like if you got tickets to this movie, you are not going to be disappointed. You are going to walk out of that theater with a smile on your face. It's a great closeout to the events of Infinity War and Endgame. It really does feel like the final film of Phase 3. I think it really did it justice in ending out Phase 3 and really concluding like the last 10 years. You're going to walk out of the theater with a smile on your face and super hyped about what it is that comes next, because it's like watching a TV show, right? Like as soon as I walked out, I was like, but like I need to know what happens next though. Like it was crazy. It's very, very exciting. Having said that, like once we get closer to the release of the movie, I will do a video on like the post-credit scenes and what they mean and all that kind of stuff to expect. Because I will say that some of the things that I called, like some of the things that I said in the videos that I've made, I called. Like I got it right. Like I like something, like not even telling you what it is. Like they're like in the videos that I made about where they're gonna go in the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I called that shit. So I'm very excited about it because I was right. But anyway, with that being said, guys, we're gonna bring this video to an end, and yeah, I will catch you all later. Peace.
Let's go.